All right. Thank you very much, my people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all once again. I appreciate every one of you that are joining us right now. Please help us to share and like this broadcast. We have our brother, Mr. Stephen Ramato, is the one that's going to be taking us through on this particular video. It's all about our kingdom. So don't forget, we have our politics discussion tonight at 5 p.m. So this one is about our kingdom. So if you have interest on that, please join us, help us to share and like. And remember, we don't accept or entertain any kind of insult directly or indirectly on this platform. We hate to block people, but please be constructive in anything you're writing on the comment section. Appreciate every one of you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Yeah, it's me again, back here this morning. You know, I just want to try as much as possible to always debunk and to reawaken the mind of the Benin people over the ancestors too. And today I'm going to read an interview that was held by one of these guys, one Monday, Wehere or something like that, who is a high chief in the Ogiamien family. We're going to listen to what they said. Then maybe if I cannot do the analysis today, maybe I will be able to do the analysis of this interview maybe tomorrow or later in the day. Depends on how busy my schedule is going to be. But the first, I wanted to listen to this interview and put the joints together. You see that there is no iota of truth in the story. Then we will not do a thorough, analysis of that interview. And thank God they reached Arisco Osemige JP, the Ogiamien, was actually also spoke in that very interview and explained some things that he ought to explain. I'm going to put the narration in two ways. First, going to be if it was true of what he said, that there's a level of cowardice on the part of the Ogiamien family to have allowed the Yoruba kingdom to invade the Benin. And we all know as at this time, the Benin kingdom was a very strong and powerful kingdom, in the entire, sub-Africa region. And one of the stories again that the children of the Benin were actually the ones who took the war, of the Yoruba, extraction, took the war to the Benin people. That also I'm going to talk about. Then let's just see how it goes, and see the time we have to actually deal with those situations, guys. Okay, I want to therefore listen to this interview that was granted by this guy, one of these high chiefs, Monday, Wehere, JP. So we're going to look at it, then critically, then we'll now, dissect all that he said, or Arisco Osevige said, in that interview, then you would understand more, because we need to enlighten the people. The people need to be educated on what is happening and the lies that they are paddling around, and all that and that, So let's just listen, guys, and let's get this clear. Okay. Now I'm going to read it, slowly, and I'm going to try as much as possible to be not to shout, so I don't get emotional, but I will just try to read it slowly, and everyone will get to understand what is on ground. The time was 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, February 20th, 2018. That's when this interview was actually granted. My phone rang. The voice on the other end was emphatic. Mr. Omohimi is a guardian no longer for its fairness, equity, and justice in matters concerning Nigerians. The Ogiso dynasty, which is today known as the Ogiamien of Utantan. Look at it now. The Ogiso dynasty, which is now known as the Ogiamien of Utantan, Igodomidogodo, in Benin, take note of that, has existed for over 300 years before the coming of Oba Eweka I of Benin. That's strange right now. Okay, I'm going to read that place again. The Ogiso dynasty of Utantan, Igodomegodo, in Benin has existed for over 300 years before the coming of Oba Eweka I of Benin. Take note of that, guys. Why are you deliberately refusing to listen to our case? Why do you treat matters concerning other palaces across the country so seriously, but you are not ready to listen to the great Ogiamien royal family of Utantan in Benin? Take note of that, of Utantan in Benin. Don't forget that, guys. Utantan inside Benin. But Eweka I is the Oba of Benin. But Utantan is in Benin. I'm not the one that's talking now. This is one of the chiefs of the Ogiamien family. Utantan in Benin. But Oba Eweka I of Benin, the same guy is speaking. Let's go back again. Maybe you get that. The Ogiso dynasty, which is today known as the Ogiamien of Utantan, Igodomegodo, in Benin, take note, has existed for over 300 years before the coming in of Oba Eweka I of Benin. Salobwa. A boy is a logo. In Benin, of Benin. I'm not going to explain that. At least we are learned enough to understand that. In, of supersede in. In is part of the of, where of comprises of the in. So why are you deliberately refusing to listen to our case? Why do you treat matters concerning other palaces across the country so seriously, but you are not ready to listen to the great Ogiamien royal family of Utantan in Benin? Palace Watch was dumbfounded over this grievous allegation and could hardly speak. After a while, I asked who it was and why the allegation. The voice at the other end responded, I am High Chief Esotericist Monday Wehere, JP, Director of Information and External Affairs of the great Ogiamien royal family of Utantan, Igodomegodo in Edo State. But I once sent you a text message requesting for an interview on this matter. Have we ever met? No, but we have been reading and following your report of palaces across the country. We have also made several attempts to reach you, but you would not listen to our case. Hence, the accusation. Then I said, so what is your side of the story? Listen to the side of the story right now. That's exactly what we want. We are not afraid of them. If you must know, the event that have been taking place in Benin Kingdom after the passage of the immediate past Oba of Benin and the eventual coronation of this present Oba of Benin Kingdom without recourse to the great Ogiamien royal family are strange to Benin culture and tradition. What is happening now in Benin Kingdom as regard the Oba of Benin too is strange and difficult for many Benin's to comprehend. I know I spoke about this yesterday, This is the first time in the history of Benin Kingdom that the death and burial of an Oba, together with the installation and coronation of a new one, was conducted in the utmost secrecy when they decided to bypass all the people who were supposed to be part of those processes. In my first video, 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I explained what is happening and why the Oba, the great Oba, the present Oba, bypass the ritual, the mock fight. Is it fair for you to say the coronation of the Oba, Eroneous II, was done in secrecy? You might not know, but there were so many processes that were not observed before that particular coronation. Before I continue, I want you to first speak with His Imperial Majesty, Rich Arisco Osevige JP, the Ogiamien of Utantan, Igodomigodo nations. Your Majesty, what is the bone of contention between the Ogiamien royal family and the Oba of Benin? Also known again, the Ogiamien royal family. The Ogiamien royal family. So they are a family. Take note. Be putting all this point down, guys. Then Arisco, which is the Ogiamien of Utantan, the great Ogiamien royal family of Utantan in Benin. Again, this is Arisco speaking now. It's a distinct ruling family from the Oba of Benin Kingdom. Before now, this has been very clear to all, and there have never been any reason to contest this position. In one of the letters the late Oba of Benin Erediawa sent to us, signed by Mr. Frank Erabo, who is the secretary to the Benin Traditional Council, the Ogiamien royal family position with the Oba of Benin was very clear. That's another lie. The Ogiamien is a title in the palace of the Oba of Benin. It's a chieftaincy title. Okay? The point of disagreement arose when we got to know that the late Oba Erediawa used his cloth in 1979 to connive with the military governor of the then Benin state, who knows nothing about Benin history, to secretly repeal and edit that recognized the Ogiamien royal family as a ruling house from Benin Kingdom without Ogiamien royal family member knowing about this dangerous act. Now, I want to ask a question here. 1979 is not too far from today. So, if there have been an existence of the Ogiamien as at 1979 as a royal family, as a known, recognized royal family in Edo State, 1979 is not too far from here. Everybody would have been aware. At least, if not us, maybe we were still kids then, but our fathers would have told us of the story. There would have been a clear, evidence of the existence of these people. As at 1979. 1979 is not year 2000. I mean, year 1879. It's not 1779. It's just beyond the year. 1 minute. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, email with me. Just quickly, please. I'm a little busy. Yeah.
The Monday for me, 150 so join up yearly, no, all women will be around. So I just give them 150, even though they pay with the continue I select.
You just continue now. You do it now.
Okay.
Well,
They're not giving me any money. That's what I'm saying.
okay, I'll call my brother now. I'll call my brother now.
I don't know how they do it.
I'll call him now.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry guys. I had, my I'm going to talk about that. It's just a business I'm trying to set up. Sorry guys. Now I said the point of disagreement arose when we got to know that the late Oba of Benin, in 1979 uses his power to do this and do that. That get me worried. 1979 is just behind the corner here. How did the Oba of Benin was able to do that and was able to silence that history that nobody is aware of the history? So 1979 there was already all form of web pages that would have carried such a huge story without discourse. Okay, guys. Now look at it now. Surprisingly, when I was installed, is Arisco that is speaking now. When I was installed as the Ogiamien in 2015, I was arrested alongside the Olia of Ogiamien. Now, the question the palace is asking till tomorrow. Sorry, guys. Who is that? Who is that? The question that some of us are asking is this. The palace is asking. They were talking about there was secrecy in the coronation of the Oba of Benin. And His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, is asking, what happened to the Ogiamien before the installation of Arisco? What happened to the guy who was on the seat as the Ogiamien of Benin before the installation of Arisco? That was the bone of contention. These people to tell the people the truth. The Oba have never said there is no chieftaincy titled as the Ogiamien. But the Oba is saying, you, Arisco, rich Arisco Semike JP, is not the rightful Ogiamien. So you are not supposed to be on this too. Surprisingly, when I was installed as the Ogiamien in 2015, I was arrested alongside the Olia of Ogiamien who performed my installation rites and detained in the police headquarters in Benin. We were charged to court and remanded in prison, in local prison in Benin. You were broken the peace of the Benin kingdom. The installation was not supposed to be. You were not in the right position to become the next Ogiamien. And the rituals of the Ogiamien are actually done from the palace. So, they're asking you, how did you manage to become an Ogiamien when the one that was there before you disappeared and nobody has been able to trace his whereabouts till tomorrow? So how do you not expect a man who is spiritual, like the Oba of Benin, to fall into some kind of deceit and spiritual illegality that will undermine his authority. As the paramount ruler of Benin Kingdom. It doesn't matter if you sit there, what is not right, a spiritual man will never embark on it. Oba Benin knows that mock fight is not between you and him. It's between you and the guy that was there before you forcefully take over. That is just the truth there. So that means if there is nobody on the seat of the Ogiamien, automatically means that mock fight cannot hold. So what they are all blabbing about today is as a result of the illegality that you guys decided to put up in 2015 that led to the arrest of you, Arisco, and your leader by the then government of Edo State, led by Adam Ali Oshomole. Because it was about to bring, great trouble into the Benin Kingdom. So you guys should just stop trying to play this, emotional blackmail, sentimental, interviews to get, a sympathy from the people. Okay, so this was done without allowing us be. To our utter surprise, the judge said he would look into our bail condition after 2 weeks. This was the extent they went to humiliate us for not committing any crime than ascending the throne of my ancestors. I spent almost 2 months in the prison. This is summary of our disagreement. This is where the problem is. I've asked this question before. How manage if, by the reason of this guy, what is his name? Wehere or wherever he is, Monday, that the Oba of Benin is of the Yoruba descendant. How manage the entire Benin Kingdom? In the past, in the present, and even in the future, are 100% solidly behind them. Has anyone ever asked that question? How many the entire Zamanians were solidly behind the coming back of Erroneous? The eventual installation of the first Oba of Benin, Oba Eweka the First. This was not in our time. How many they all accepted these people if it's not actually true? Like I said in my first video, that in those days nothing is done without not going to the oracle. They don't perform anything as far as the throne or the royal family is concerned without not first taking counsel from the wise men that were in the kingdom. These are things that people are no more telling us. They are trying to hide away from this reality, this fact. What has been the tradition of the installation of an Ogiamien in Benin before the coming of Arisco? Nobody is asking that question. They are not telling us that part. Why did the Oba of Benin have to say the process in which you passed in is not the right process? Nobody is telling us that part. That shows there's a level of your rascality that prompted the government of the day then, who is not even a Benin man, to get you arrested because you were already breaking the peace of Benin Kingdom. Said, and to add sort of injury, the court Oba refused to recognize us as the Ogiamien of Benin. If you see, from the beginning, like I read, they were said Ogiamien in Benin, of Utatan in Benin. Utatan is part and parcel of the Benin Kingdom. The first area, the second area, there is the Utatan area. Just because of the edit his late father secretly appealed in 1979. So before his supposed accession to the throne of Oba of Benin, he deliberately refused to perform the traditional ceremony between the Ogiamien royal family and any incoming Oba. I just explained that, the reason why our father refused to do that. Because you, Arisco, Rich, or Semege JP, is not the rightful owner of that stool. So because of that, it was completely impossible for the Oba of Benin to perform any rite whatsoever with you. It was not a spite. This has been a long age tradition. But because the installation of you as the next Ogiamien, which you are not, because you are from the maternal side, it is an abomination for the palace, for the king, to have performed such rite. It would have been an abomination for the king to have gone ahead to perform such rite with you. These are facts. So you can't blackmail people. People can believe your emotional blackmail, but the truth is certain. Are you actually the rightful owner of that chieftaincy title? Can you tell us what happened to the occupant of that seat before you forcefully took over the seat? Can you tell us that since you became the purported Ogiamien, at peace ever reign within the Ogiamien family? These are questions you need to ask. Okay. This same ceremony was performed by his late father before becoming the Oba. We are not in any way interested or contesting the Oba of Benin. The Oba of Benin is different from the Ogiamien of Otantan, Igodo. So if you are not interested in the palace, why are you always ranting on social media? Why are you always creating, granting interviews to discredit the palace of the Yoruba? You're going to hear some of the things they said. This is just the preamble. You're going to hear some of the things they said that is even more funnier than what we are seeing now. So for the record, the Ogiamien of Otantan are the original owner of Benin Kingdom. They are the Ogisos. Yesterday, thank God I've been able to tell you all the Ogisos that came, all the Obas that came. There was nowhere around that area that Ogiamien or anyone close to that was mentioned. The last Oba was Oba Owodo, the father of Oduduwa, Izoduwa, or Ekaladera. That I've been able to point out yesterday, and they'll not be able to debunk that. Okay, guys? The Ogiamien royal family has been in existence since the year 900 AD until 1200 AD, when the then ruling Ogiamien leased part, look at it, leased part of the Igodo land to Oba Eweka the First. Lease part. As a result of the treaty at Ekiokpaga, which led to the leasing of half of the Igodo land to the then Oba of Benin, all the documents of lease from Oba Eweka the First to the immediate past Oba of Benin are in our custody. Whew. Guys, I think I'm not supposed to talk about, if you want to hear about the Ekiokpaga Treaty, you go to our brother Izoduwa Imaswen War. You're going to get it there. He has already explained that clearly. So the treaty was to end the war. The treaty was not to lease anything, because the Benin were already taken. The Oba, with the support of the Zamas, were already taken over. So the treaty was to end the killing in Benin within the same people of the same blood. So that was why the Oba had the power to now control the entire, today known as the Southern region of the Benin, up to Ghana, Dakotomi, which is now Benin Republic, even across the Niger. And we didn't see any war that the Otantan or the Ogiamien actually fought during this period before the coming of the colonial masters. Now, so we had to apply for a variation of bail in the Benin High Court. This was how we were able to secure our freedom from their arm twisting tactics. The Ogiamien royal family had to challenge my arrest, and the appropriateness of the edict they secretly appealed. As we speak, the Oba and his people are not contesting the legality of our claim as the Ogiamien royal family. We have Ezoma royal family That does not make them kings. We have the Oleas. That does not make them king. We have Ogiego. We have Enogi of Olobo and Co. These people, they have Oleas. They have different, chiefs within their jurisdiction. That does not make them kings. They are dukes. They are dukes. Hear this right. What they have been advancing is that it is too late for us to begin to ask for our right, even when it is clear to all that we got to know of their illegality very late. And the court had told them that it is not too late for us to ask for our right, that we have a case. This is where we are now. You've been having a case, and we are just waiting for the case. The Benin decides. You're going to prove your point beyond every reasonable doubt, how you became an Ogiamien, which we have done on several occasions. On my channel here and on the channel of my brother, Izodowa. He had done marvelously well because he knows history more than I do. So I'm just an analyst. So it's actually deep. He has depth knowledge of the Benin history. I've put him in some of my YouTube channels, and we know how excellently well he has actually done in the past. Okay. Then High Chief Esotericist Monday Wehere JP explained further. What is today known as Benin Kingdom started as Igodo 9 centuries ago. It was founded by Ogiso Igodo and existed for 300 years before King Erroneous of Ile-Ife invaded Benin. Invaded. No history said there was an invasion of Benin by anyone. During that invasion, Erroneous fought without any success. Before then, Erroneous came to Benin with a strategy. He brought a large number of Yoruba men into Benin long before the proper expedition. These men went into relationship with our daughters, who started having children for them. By the time Erroneous came to attack Benin in the 11th century, the number of the Yoruba-born children was high. In spite of this, however, he still failed in his attack. That just shows you missed the whole point. You knew of the plan if there was a purported invasion. You guys who thought you were the king, the ruler of the kingdom, could not actually know there was an invasion from the Yoruba people according to your claims. That just shows you are not even qualified to be a king, to be recognized as a royal family, because you actually failed. You actually failed the Igodo people. So when Erroneous was returning to Ile-Ife without achieving his aim, as one of the strategy they invented, he deliberately impregnated the princess, the daughter of Ainenike, Duke or King in Benin, under the then Ogiso. The princess' name was Elimede. He left her behind before returning to Ile-Ife. It was Princess Elimede that gave birth to the first Oba of Benin, Oba Ebeka I, who after becoming an adult was invited back to Ile-Ife alongside other children they had secretly produced through our daughters without her knowing their game plans. You're not Zuo, my brother. Oh God. You see the trash they are writing. They are trash people right. And they want people to believe this very, watered story. Story without no, concrete evidence backup. So up to today, they still live in a place called Yoruba Quarter in Binis. All of you living in Yoruba Quarter, you are this our banner and our car. He's very struggalacious, so the guy get level. He put these people for attention. All they do now is to find a way to say stories. So all the people living in Yoruba street, they're all part of the people who fought against the Ogiamien. That's not true. Okay, when Oba was actually installed as the Oba of Benin, he lived at Ego for a very long time before the Uzamani came and said, you need to go and ascend the thrones of your father at Ogbe. That's how they marched out, where the battle started. So there was never a fight until Oba decided to come to Ogbe and take over his rightful throne. It was during that fight that this Ekiuba Treaty came into existence. Okay, guys. So which had Erica in attendance that these children were told the reason they were given birth to in Benin, that it was Ogiamien decided to use them to overthrow the then Ogiso Erebo. Do you know how many years for you to have children and they will grow to start fighting war? Ah, God. And it's dynasty, which was then known as Igodomedodo. They were all made to swear to an oath never to betray Erica, who was to become the Oba of Benin if they eventually succeeded. Expectedly, this particular war was portrayed as many people died on both sides. The carnage was much. It was, however, difficult for the then Ogiso to use extra force as he felt his grandchildren were being used in the war. He kept saying the children being used by the Oba to prosecute this war were children of Benin daughters, even though they were now supporting their father's side to fight the Ogiso. You see the write-up? Go on. It was at this point a truce was called, as there were no victor, no vanquished. Ogiso Erebo was told there was no way this large number of children born by Benin women for Yoruba men could be repatriated, since they had already been integrated into the heart of Igodomegodo. He was told the only way to maintain peace was for him to divide Igodomegodo into two kingdoms. Let the Oba take a part while he hold on to the other part. I think this is the highest level of cowardice. Assuming this story narrated now by this Monday, Wehere, was true. It shows the hello. Yeah, good morning. No, I didn't. Hello, I didn't. Who am I speaking with, please? Okay, Mama. I greet you. Okay, no problem. Okay, Mama. Okay, I got office. Okay, Mama. Yes, Mama. Yeah, sorry guys. You know, that shows they were not supposed to even be the leader, because we are great warriors. If you have to divide your kingdom into two, give one part to your purported invader, actually shows how weak you are to be the leader of the great Benin kingdom. That has already written you off. That you can't. You were not qualified to actually stood for the then Benin people. Okay. So there was an agreement known as Ekiuba Treaty, which was signed by the Oba Ereka I and Ogiso Erebo. There was no Ogiso Erebo. As at this time, what we have was an Ogiamien. So this Ogiso Erebo came from nowhere. I don't even know where it came from. I've never heard of it. I just started hearing of it a few days ago. In that treaty, 8 conditions were given that must not be breached by either side. One aspect of that treaty stipulates, I am giving you Oba Ewari this half of Ugodomogodo on lease and not sold to you in any ways. From time to time, you should go to my children to renew the lease agreement anytime there is a vacancy in the Oba store. Another condition is that under any condition, the Oba army will never come to harass the Ogiso army. The third condition is that neither the Oba nor the Ogiso will ever have cause to marry from each other family. Another condition is that Ogiso children will never kneel down to worship the Oba of Benin. The sixth condition is that anytime the Oba is coming to enact the treaty, he will bring a cow alongside other items. Okay, he said it was this condition that the present Oba refused to fulfill before ascending the throne. The treaty was sealed with a death penalty that any person from both sides who violate this treaty would be put to death. When Palace Watch contacted Frank Irabos, secretary to the SOT, he directed us to Esoban of Benin, Chief David Edebi, whom he said was the right person to speak on the matter. Chief Edebi, however, declined to comment, saying there are several aspects of the government issue in court and with the police, but that they may react appropriately if necessary. Now, guys, this is the very most stupid interview I've ever read. I want to tell you a story, guys, before I close. You know, around the 14th, 15th century, when Usman Dan Fodio was invading the Jihad war from the north, I was told by a storyteller that as he was advancing towards Benin, at Ewu, the Denoba Benin got a hint of what Usman Dan Fodio and his men were coming to do. He quickly assembled the armies in Benin and consulted the oracle. Like I tell you, at that time, nothing happens without the presence of the oracle. In that story, I was told that the oracle told them, if you embark on this war with these people, many of the Binis are going to die. As the same will down the other side. And that will put fear in the mind of the people. And what Usman Dan Fodio uses as at that point in time in conquering cities will actually fear. We know that that's what is happening today within the Muslim circle. They put fear. They said what the Oba then was going to do is to invoke the gods, the demons to Ewu today, because that's what the point. So that they will stop them there, they will never come into Benin Kingdom. Go check this history out. I'm telling you right now. Then our Oba then invoked the gods from Yekorion, Udo, and many other parts of Benin where these deities actually resides, and they were invoked to Ewu. At the time Usman Dan Fodio and his men got to that place, there was a battle. There was a battle between the Fulani jihadists and these deities of Benin. The Fulani were seeing people hitting them. They were seeing heavy casualty, but they were not able to see these people. It was in one of those fights that the Usman Danfodio got injured, that led to his death while he was returning back to his caliphate in Sokoto. Go check history out. The Oba of Benin refused to release a cent, an inch of his kingdom to the invaders. Even when we knew at that point in time, the Usman Danfodio has a superior military power to invade any part. As at that point, as at that time, people are going to say, this man is lying right now. How did you know that? I'm going to tell you, go to that place today. Do you know one of the most dangerous part of that highway, Benin Auchi Road, is at Ewu Junction? Practically every day, accident happened there. Happened there practically every day. Because the demons have not been returned back to, the deities, sorry guys, the deities have not been returned back to their original abode. And when they were invoked out, this deity, they drink blood. That's what they do. So up to today, they still ask for sacrifice. I was able to speak to people around that Ebu area, and you see, Ebu area there, all of them there are all native doctors. The power that they use is actually part of these deities that was invoked by Oba to stop the incoming of these jihadists. If that was the case then, why will you not allow, according to them, your purported invader to invade your community, to invade your nation, and you decided to part half of your kingdom to him? And today you are crying if what you said was true. That shows your Ogiamien family was more of a coward. I'm sorry to say. To have given out your inheritance. And do not forget, in one of the books I read, I think I read it on the Esotericist War. Now one of these writers said the Ogiamien were actually the Wehere was actually living around Ogbe area. Before they moved to this area, they now came to build their kingdom today, Utantan. And the worst part of it is the upper Benin Palace is at Obe. It means this man actually chased you away from your ancestral ground, if that was true. Come on. And if you want to lie now, try to put your lie together. Let it be sellable. Let people actually see there's an element, a level of truth in your lies. There have never been a king called Ogiso Erebo in the history of Benin. I've done all my research. Somebody told me yesterday, he said, do you know the Oba Benin and his cohort, they've actually infiltrated the entire social media space? I said, seriously? I didn't know professors from the Ogiamien lineage. I didn't know billionaires from the Ogiamien lineage who can be able to actually narrate the true identity, the true story of the Benin Kingdom for others to listen to. Listen, guys, anybody supporting, whether directly or indirectly, the resurrection of the war between the Benin Kingdom and the Ogiamien over their actions before the coming of a bioworker is an enemy of Benin Kingdom. yesterday I've been able to, atomize the entire the Obas that came from Oba Eweka the first to Oba Eware the second. The tradition that came in there was just a tradition that, because the Ogiamien family, they are all part of Benin. That was why that treaty came in, for peace accord. Go read the history of Eware the first. Ewe this Ewe we normally do today now. It came as a result of something. I told you yesterday how the name Edo came into being. Many things happens just for peace, because we are all one. To some kind of level of assurance will be put in place to avoid further recurrence of such an event. But today people are trying to now reawaken the already dead issue. I once again plead with you about the governor of Edo State and the government of Edo State to stay clear from traditional matters. You should stay clear from traditional matters, particularly when the Edo State traditional institution is concerned. It's a no-go area. Not even the federal government can get involved. It's a no-go area. The British could not do nothing in their time. When they deported Ogiamien to Calabar, they put an administrator. Nobody was ready to take over the throne. Why did this same Ogiamien not come out and lay claim to the throne of the Oba of Benin in 1897? If they actually the honor of Benin, why did they not come out to lay claim to it? It was practically non-existing. The truth about all this old thing, all this old braha in that place is money. Because they want to be recognized that they can be getting money from the government, or the state government and the federal government. That's all. Nothing more. It's just about money. What achievement have they actually achieved? Even in the Utatan, the area you call Utatan today, do we have their signatures anywhere around that area? It actually shows the love they have for the people that they claim to govern. They want to say they share the land into two. One part for them, one part for the Oba of Benin. Which area did you actually share to yourself? Why are you not in control of those areas today? The government should see and do the needful. We don't play with the kingdom. We don't play with the palace. It's our heritage. It is our identity as a people. You can write all the articles in the world. It doesn't change nothing. The Oba remains supreme as far as Edo speaking Binis are concerned. We have no other story. We have no other history. We have no other inheritance. We have no other identity apart from the identity of the Oba of Benin. If a foreigner, according to you, will come from somewhere else and control the entire Edo South, then you are not qualified to even call yourself a leader. You're supposed to just go and hide your face in shame. Sorry if you are not Ogiamien. Sorry if you are not Ogiamien. Your ancestors failed you. If there's any truth in what I read today, so there's none of you crying now. Well, there's no truth anyways. They are all lies. Even assuming, I did not want to argue. I said this thing you wrote here, they are true. Assuming, but you see what you wrote here by your Ogiamien is a show of defeat. It's a show of defeat. that he had to divide his own kingdom. Oh, come on. Papa. No, I'm nonsense now. So somebody is in Germany shouting. You're not even reading, you're not even going to do investigation to actually see the rubbish that your people are saying, talking stories. Your mama came to Benin, they brought people into Benin, they were impregnating our people, and your Ogiso was in the throne. How old is your Ogiso? People picking with their born now before you can become warriors. Now, small children, how they be. They did not come and born a worker. Then this people now follow a worker. I beg. Where do they go? We have one kingdom. It's called the Benin Kingdom. And we have one king. It is called the Omonoba Nedo Uku Akpolopolo Oba Ewari the Ogidigan II. No other one. Thank you guys. I need to go for now. I need to return back to office work. I took time today to return back to office work, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Bye. And God bless. Let's begin to sing our praises. Let's tell our story. Let's begin to educate our people who we are and how proud we are to be a subject of the palace of the Oba of Benin. It's very important to us. God bless you all. Thanks for watching.
All right. Thank you very much, my people. I appreciate every one of you. Because of time, we need to round up straight away. And please help us to share our videos and like. Join us at 5 p.m. We're coming back to our May broadcast this evening. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll say bye and bye for now.